Dear Gemma, I've been with my husband for 12 years. I do everything. The kids, the house, his family birthdays, the mental load, all of it. I plan things and I get shut down. I say I'm unhappy and I told I'm dramatic. I stopped saying I love you first because I was tired of being the only one who says it. Last week was my birthday and he forgot. Not late. Forgot. I cried in the bathroom so the kids wouldn't see. I don't even know why I'm writing this. Nobody seems to think women like me have anything to complain about. I've noticed something. A very similar post was shared recently online, and when I read it, it talked about how this person felt really invisible in their marriage. Nobody seemed to care, forgotten birthdays, no affection, no compassion. They were told they're being too emotional, and there was an outpouring of love and support for the poster. Over 6,000 comments. People's hearts just bled for this person. But this person was a man. And the love that was poured on him was absolutely valid. His pain was real. But why, when a woman shares this, and I've been in this space long enough to know that she shares this sort of thing regularly, it's just seen as another Tuesday, because she deserves the exact same amount of sympathy and empathy and love that he received. So why is there a sympathy gap? Because when a man says he has relationship problems, that is seen as something to support him with. When a woman shares emotional relationship problems, it's seen as something for her to manage. So the gap is real, and it's not a competition. There's not a finite amount of sympathy so that if we give too much for one, then there's not enough for someone else. He absolutely deserves that sympathy, and so does she. So I guess what I wanted to talk about today is why that happens and what to do about it. So why does she minimize it? Why does she minimize her experience? Like, even in the letter, I don't even know why I'm writing this. We minimize it because from a very young age, women are taught to apologize, to keep themselves small, to not rock the boat, to smile, to be polite, to do all the things that make them good and nice and palatable. And so their experiences are minimized. And we know, not even that long ago, the women's rights in marriages were far less. To be able to live independently outside of marriage was really, really difficult. So there was less freedom and less choice. And that's no longer the case. Women are in more financial independence than ever before. They're able to own their own homes, have their own jobs, choose whether to have children or not. They're not dependent on men in the same way as they were. And therefore, when they are unhappy in a marriage, they do have choices. And so I think it's important to recognise what needs to happen here. And I don't believe that if a woman is unhappy, that means she should just up and leave. But I do think there are things that she can do when she's unhappy before she makes any decision about whether she leaves or not. And I think there's 3 key things to cover. One is stop waiting for external validation. Stop waiting for it to be bad enough for someone to tell you it's okay to leave. You know if how you're feeling is okay or not. You know if how you're being treated is okay or not. You don't need proof, and you don't need external validation that it's okay to say you're not okay. Stop minimizing, stop apologizing for existing and for expecting to be treated with consideration and kindness and compassion. Hold space for yourself and hold space for your friends. If you see this happening in your friendships, hold space, stop minimizing, stop apologizing for simply existing. And stop making yourself invisible. Have the difficult conversations, learn the language, find the words. There are really good resources out there, including with myself, but you don't have to go far in the internet to find these things. But there are ways to have difficult conversations. There's language you can use that makes it less inflammatory and gets you a better outcome. I know we've talked about this before, but instead of we need to talk, it's can we talk about something that's important to me? having your boundaries, communicating them with consequences and sticking to them are all really important skills in creating a relationship dynamic that is mutually beneficial and partnered. And I don't think all relationships are equal. There are times when one person is at sort of 40% and the other one might be at 60, and then vice versa. It's about balance. It's about recognizing I'm good at this bit, so I'll own that. You're good at this bit, you own that. But ultimately it's about showing up for each other, having those difficult conversations, being vulnerable, being honest, but also protecting your peace and your safety, your emotional safety within your relationships, because letters like this are all too common. And I want women to know that there is a way within your relationship to start holding space for yourself, because it is incredible how when one person changes the way they show up, the way they communicate, it has a massive ripple effect. Now, I'm not saying that guarantees a relationship will work, but what it does is it helps the woman to find her voice, or the person to find their voice, because they need that in any relationship. So whether this one lasts and the changes are enough, great, but who knows? But even if the relationship doesn't last, you still need your voice. You still need to go into all of your relationships knowing how to advocate for yourself, knowing how to have healthy conflict. So yes, the sympathy gap is absolutely real. And the way we stop that is more people writing these letters, recognizing your birthday is valid, your emotions are valid, your experience is valid, you are deserving of a happy, healthy relationship with strong communication, not perfection. There will be things you disagree on, but you're doing it in a way that feels safe. But knowing that you are important and you deserve to be seen in your relationship is, a fundamental need within any relationship. So to the woman that wrote this letter, you matter. Your birthday matters, and you deserve to feel seen. So if you have an area that you would like me to support you, guide you, make a comment on, then feel free to drop me a DM, pop into the comments, or come and see me over on socials and let's chat.